What is Overwatch 2? Well, guys, let me explain what it is in this video. Alright, guys, so you know I've been at BlizzCon. There's been the massive announcement of Overwatch 2. I was lucky enough to play 2 hours of the new content. It was crazy. That video footage is on the channel. It's beautiful stuff. But what is Overwatch 2? What's going on? Well, Overwatch 1 is PvP. Overwatch 2 is PvE, but, and here's the big but, they will both merge together and become Overwatch 2. So, at some point in the future, I believe this is probably going to be into 2021. This is simply because Blizzard have provided us with an FAQ document which says they have no release date, but come back next year for more details. And Jeff even said in an interview, we sat down with him, like a big group interview, that basically come back next BlizzCon for more information, and that they will also be going dark for a year. That was in the FAQ document. So we know that they're still working on a lot of stuff here, and we're going to get more information next year. So that probably means the year after is when we will see Overwatch 2 launch. But you guys are confused, right? I'm confused because I'm trying to get this through my head. We're like, what's going on? Is this a new game? Is this just an expansion? Well, the other way to explain Overwatch 2 to people is it's PvE DLC missions for Overwatch. That is essentially what it is. So what we've got is a bunch of things that are coming out with Overwatch 2 that are PvE. So you've got story missions and you've got hero missions, and I'll explain what those are in a second. Those are exclusive to Overwatch 2. You will not get them if you only own Overwatch, but if you own Overwatch, you can still get the new heroes that will come out with Overwatch 2 and the new maps and the new UI, because anything like that affects PvP. And obviously the new PvP game mode, which is push, you will get that. So if you have no interest in Overwatch PvE, you don't actually have to buy Overwatch 2. You can just carry on playing the game, which actually is really big when you think about this. Because another point they were really pushing home at BlizzCon is this is them reinventing the sequel. What does a sequel mean? Well, this is what a sequel means to Overwatch, that actually you can carry on playing the game. But the thing is, for me, is this really a sequel? Because a sequel surely would be something with massive amounts of content, like tons of new heroes come out, loads of new stuff. They maybe radically change the way the game even works. That's a sequel. Massive amounts of new content. But this almost has been packaged as, actually guys, we're making this cool PvE system that we're going to plug into existing Overwatch. So if you've got Overwatch already, you can still play that, but you can't play PvE. You have to pick up the new Overwatch. Now this is the next part of the video I want to get onto. We do not know what the monetization plan is for Overwatch 2. There have been no details given on this. So think of the options logically. There could be a battle pass. There could also be maybe a subscription. There could be a box price, so you just buy the game and that's it. There could be missions sold as they're available. So mission packs become available and you can buy them and pick them up. We don't know how this is being, the monetization system is being played. We don't even know if loot boxes are still going to be in Overwatch 2. We literally have no idea. The other thing we have no idea on is the progression system. So we don't know how they're going to focus on that, how they're going to work on that going forward. The only thing we do know right now is there is a talent system in the game for the story missions, and I would assume this is for the hero missions as well, where you can augment your hero. Now, this is super fun. This is honestly mega fun. Reinhardt, so I played Reinhardt and Mei on the demo. Reinhardt's two abilities. The first one, Fire Strike, basically sets people on fire when you throw it at them, which is really cool. So you can throw it through like groups of enemies, it sets them all on fire, and then does damage over time to them. That's super cool. His other ability speeds up his melee attack every time he hits a target. So he's basically just slamming his hammer around, killing stuff, getting faster, getting faster, getting faster, and it's actually kind of mad to play with. Really fun. Mei, though, was really, really fun for me. So Mei, the ability I used most for Mei, the talent, was the Ice Block talent, where you could jump into the enemy, go into Ice Block, come out of Ice Block, and as you turn off what I'm even saying, like, I am a bit tired, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna lie, but as you stop come out of Ice Block, whatever, you cancel Ice Block, that's the word I'm looking for. It will freeze everybody around you, which is like really good for crowd control, because you could throw a wall up in front of a dangerous enemy, maybe an enemy with a charge up attack that's going to do high damage, and then you could run to the other enemy across the room, literally throw yourself at them and freeze them. It's so cool. I think there was stuff shown as well with Mei rolling in a little snowball and stuff like that from some of the dev panels, which is super cool. So it is really fun, right? That type of progression in the PvE stuff is really, really fun. But in terms of account progression, in terms of leveling up your heroes, we don't know how this is going to work, but it's going to be there at some point, and we'll get more details probably in the future. Now, we get a new graphics engine, but we don't really. We get an engine update to the original Overwatch engine, I believe. I mean, maybe we can get away calling it a new graphics engine. We get better graphics. That's the way to look at this. Higher fidelity. So the models look better, the environments look better, everything looks better than Overwatch 1. But one of the problems here is they've also redesigned the way the heroes look. They've made the heroes look more modern, like they've evolved from their original designs. I don't know whether I'm too, like, I like the designs, but I also like the old Overwatch designs, you know? So it's like, it was a bit of a weird thing to do, but I guess you kind of had to do it if you were upgrading the engine, because you don't want them to just look exactly the same, I suppose. Changing their, you know, clothing and stuff, it's cool. Like, Reinhardt's now got, like, a massive, wonderful beard, and he's got, like, different armor, which just looks super cool. Bastion's got a baseball cap. It's, like, it's really cool. It is cool. I do like that they've done that. But you could argue, like, you know, why? Why do it, Blizzard? But whatever, who cares? All right, let's get to the meat of this then. So, story missions. These are 4-player PvE high-stakes missions, and they go through the current story of Overwatch, and that is the key thing, the current story. We're not playing archives events. We're not playing events that are in the past. We are playing stuff which is pushing the story forward, and that's good. Like, this is something we've been asking for ages, so I'm really hyped to see that. But of course, the thing is with this, these story missions, we're going to need like loads of them to make them, you know, endlessly, well, not endlessly replayable. I guess you can't be endlessly replayable. Well, I guess anything's endlessly replayable if you just play it over and over again. But you guys get what I'm trying to say. Like, I felt like when I did the Rio de Janeiro mission, it was really cool, but it just felt like maybe a slightly better Retribution. It didn't feel like something I'm going to rush back to keep like spamming over and over again, but that's because it's a show floor build, and that's because it probably doesn't contain all of the features that eventually these things will have. There might be like crazy achievements you can get, so you try and do it in specific ways, or stuff like that. Speed runs, you might get, there could be literally loads of stuff they could do with them, but the show floor build, for what it was, I thought was really cool, and it really did give you that impression of what Overwatch PvE is going to be like, which is super cool. So story missions are the main focus, right? Absolutely the main focus. The other thing with story missions is they will be specific heroes, so you cannot just pick any hero for the story mission. This is because thematically the missions are pushing a story, pushing a narrative. In the Rio de Janeiro mission, you are looking at Reinhardt taking control of the situation. He orders Mercy and a couple of the other guys, Echo, out of the I think he orders them to go off and get the drop ship and do some other bits and pieces. So the characters you're left with is May, Reinhardt, Tracer, and Lucio, and those are the characters that you have to play with, because that's the mission, and that's fine. I think that's totally fine. So the next type of PvE mode they announced is hero missions. Now, I didn't get to play hero missions because they're not available at the show, but the way these were explained is kind of like Diablo adventure mode. So you would see the map of the world, and you'd be able to click on the map, and it would take you to that area and explain what you needed to do. So I think this is their attempt at almost like daily quests, like from World of Warcraft. So this is on old maps, so they're recycling all the old maps, and you'll have like an objective to complete. Jeff explained in the panel we were in that this would be something like maybe protect the lieutenant, or maybe kill a VIP, or I guess you could say that's the other way around, or you could say just survive for a certain amount of time. Those are the type of objectives you're going to get, and they're going to be random. Now, I believe talents will be available in this, so again, it'll be super cool. You'll be able to do all kinds of mad stuff, and it'll be really, really cool. So those are the two modes that we were given as the main bulk of Overwatch 2 content. Now, I think where a lot of the confusion is coming from with people is this is just an expansion. This isn't really a new game, because all of the PvP stuff we've got right now, all of the heroes, yes, the heroes are updated, and yes, the UI is updated. They all push forward and go into Overwatch 2. So why have they called it Overwatch 2 and not just called it something like Overwatch Second Strike? I think that's where a lot of my personal confusion was coming from. Alright, so to end this video, what I want to do is just take a quick look at the FAQ document. I won't put this on the screen, guys, but what I will do is we will sort of run over this and just check out some of the key bits of info. Okay, so let's take a look at the FAQ document, because there's some nice bits of information in this. So one of the questions that I really like is this: how does hero progression work? Can you give a few examples of talent upgrades? At a high level, Overwatch 2 will feature a deep and meaningful progression system that allows you to power up each of your heroes. Now, I'm not going to lie, that does sound really cheesy. A deep and meaningful progression system could essentially mean anything. They gave us no information on this at BlizzCon, so we're going to have to wait and see on information as it comes out in the future on that. However, these systems will allow players to gain game-changing customization options which will be used in story missions and hero missions, but not in PvP. For the example of Tracer, you can choose talents including Chain Reaction, Pulse Bomb grows in size and explodes again when it kills an enemy, Distortion, blinking through enemies damages them, Quick Kill, killing blows speed up cooldowns. That is beautiful. Then we get the next question. It says, when is the release date for Overwatch 2? Well, we have a lot more work to do on the game, but we're excited to share more in the future. We'll be going dark after BlizzCon. Stay tuned for more information next year. That's fine. So I think, guys, that kind of brings us to the end of the video. That's what we know so far about Overwatch 2. It is a PvE experience for Overwatch, and Overwatch is still Overwatch. The PvP we play right now will still be available. There are a lot of questions though. There are things like, how is the game going to be updated next year? Will we still get seasonal events? Will we still get the Archives event? Probably not, because that's a PvE event, and PvE is now the domain of Overwatch 2, which is probably going to come out maybe 2021. There's all these questions going around, and I think we'll start to get answers as time goes on. But what I want to end this video on is, this is a positive thing for Overwatch. The addition of PvE is great. It is a foundation that they could use to build anything. And I hope we see really complex, really detailed PvE missions and PvE experiences, because now they've got the systems to stick this into the game. And that's what I want. Just stick it into the game, Blizzard. Alright guys, I'm Instalosa, this is Unit Lost. If you guys enjoyed the video, then, well, like the video, that really helps the video. Also subscribe to the channel, guys, and I'll do my best to keep you updated. Slight apologies for my microphone. I am on my recording studio. Well, I'm not at my recording studio. I'm on my remote setup in a very dodgy, sketchy hotel room in Anaheim. So there is kind of like little, you have to fight through this stuff. But thanks for watching to the end of the video, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.